Are you looking to get started in real estate investing, but maybe you don't have that 20 to 25% down payment that's needed? Or maybe you're looking for a fiscally more responsible alternative to buying that starter home? If so, this video is for you because I will tell you the worst kept secret in real estate investing, and that is what's called house hacking. Let's get to it. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you didn't already know, my name's Jay Costa. I'm a real estate investor, agent, and builder here in Northern New Jersey. And if you get value out of this video, please hit the like button down below and also consider subscribing. We're building a tight-knit community here of like-minded individuals that are looking to build wealth in real estate. And one of the biggest ways to build wealth in real estate when you're just getting started is using house hacking. House hacking is something that, frankly, I actually never did myself. And looking back, I really regret that I didn't do it because it would have started my real estate investing journey much sooner than actually what came to be. And there's a bunch of positive aspects of house hacking that you need to take advantage of if you want to get started building wealth in real estate right away. So in this video, I'm going to go over what house hacking is, the pros and the cons of house hacking, how to finance your house hacking endeavor, and I will share with you why I still believe, even with these decade-high interest rates, why house hacking is still the best way to get started and build wealth in real estate in 2024. So first, let's explain what house hacking is. House hacking is essentially when your plan is to buy a multifamily property where you're planning to occupy one unit and you're going to rent out the other unit or multiple units that are in the property. And the intent here is to have your living expenses either zero or significantly reduced and covered by the rental income from the other unit. It is, in my opinion, the best way to get started and build wealth in real estate because it allows you to replace your biggest living expense, which is most of the time rent for most people, with a long-term fixed rate mortgage on an asset that creates and produces income as well as appreciates in value over time. And you don't need much money to get started. So why would you house hack? Well, it allows you to reduce your living expenses significantly, all while using a long-term fixed rate mortgage to build equity while you pay it down. You also are allowed to, of course, benefit from the future appreciation of the property. Now, of course, there are negatives to house hacking. It's not perfect. You do have to have a tenant that lives right next door to you. So you will miss the privacy when compared to buying that starter home, which is a single family house. Also, you will be a landlord now, which is not for everybody. As much as being a landlord is glorified on YouTube and TikTok or whatever, it's not that easy. It's not a passive income at all, real estate. So you need to be prepared both mentally, stress-wise, as well as financially. You need money in order to fix anything that needs repairs, and they tend to come up at the most inopportune times. And being a landlord can be great if you have a good tenant, but if you have a poor tenant who doesn't treat your property with respect, or maybe they're late on rent payments all the time, that could completely ruin your investment and make it a total disaster. This is 10x if you have to live next to a poor tenant. So make sure you pick a tenant that's going to treat you and your property with the respect that it deserves. So how do you finance a property that you want to house hack? Well, the go-to loan product for house hacking has always been the FHA loan with 3.5% down. But just recently, Fannie Mae actually just started to offer a 5% down payment option on their loan products. Now, the main differences between the FHA loan as well as the Fannie Mae loan is basically different credit requirements, different DTI requirements, as well as different interest rates offered. For instance, the FHA loan has a minimum credit score of about 580, where the Fannie Mae loan has a minimum credit score of about 620. In regards to DTI, debt to income, Fannie Mae has a maximum of 50% DTI, where the FHA loan has a maximum DTI of 56%. And lastly, the interest rate on an FHA loan tends to be lower than a Fannie Mae loan. As you can see, many of these factors actually favor the FHA loan instead of the Fannie Mae loan, so why would you use the Fannie Mae loan? Well, it's very simple. For a two-family, the FHA loan works extremely well, but once you get to three-family and four-family properties, if you use the FHA loan on that, it has to pass what's called a self-sufficiency test. In order for a property to pass this self-sufficiency test, it needs needs to be able to cover the monthly expense with the rental income that it brings in after accounting for a vacancy rate of 25%. For example, a 4-unit home or 4-unit property with a $5,000 a month payment would need market rents to be about $6,700 per month. And in this decade-high interest rate environment, it is almost impossible to find that. So if you're looking for a 2-family property, use the FHA. But if you're looking for a 3 or a 4-family property, look into the Fannie Mae loan. Also, you should know as well, for both of these loans, you can use the proposed rental income from each of the units as qualifying income. It's usually only a certain percent of it, let's say 70-75%. So if you have a pre-qualification letter, pre-approval letter from a lender on a single-family home, if you ask them for one on a multifamily home, they may be able to qualify you for a higher amount. So keep that in mind. So I wanted to give you guys an example of a house hack with, let's say, a $500,000 house, your median sales price home. So using the FHA loan, you only need 3.5% for the down payment. That would be $17,500. Now, of course, since you're giving less than 20%, you will have to pay private mortgage insurance, which is usually about 0.5% of the loan amount. And in this situation, that would be $2,437 per year, which equates to about $203 a month. Now, using an interest rate on an FHA loan, which tends to be lower than the other loan products, of about 6.75%, as well as, let's say, $600 a month in property taxes, although I'm in New Jersey and they're probably even higher than that. They definitely are. And then you add in another, let's say, $100 a month for insurance on the property, and your monthly payment would be just under $4,000. It'd be $3,932. Now, of course, that's a far cry from only a couple years ago when the mortgage rates were 3% or 3.5%, something like that. Because if they were at 3.5%, it would only be $2,900. But I am here to tell you that this is still a great investment vehicle to get started in real estate investing. Because even at these higher interest rates, it still beats renting. In addition, you don't have to put the minimum down payment down. If you want to save some on interest and also avoid PMI insurance, you can put more down. So if you put only 10% down, the payment goes to about $3,700 a month. And if you put the full 20% down, the payment is less than $3,400 per month. Now, that's not to say that you should just overpay for a property just to get into something. If your monthly payment is $4,000, you need to make sure that the other unit can at least rent out for $2,000. And anything less than that would be starting to pay off your living expenses. Because hypothetically, $4,000 for the whole property, if there's 2 units, you say one's $2,000 and the other's $2,000. So if the second unit is paying that $2,000, you're essentially renting from yourself. You're able to gain the benefits of owning real estate, like tax benefits, as well as obviously the biggest one, appreciation. So should you house hack in 2024? House hacking is still, even with these high interest rates, the easiest and the simplest and the best way to get started building wealth in real estate investing. It allows you to reduce your living expenses and essentially replace rent with an asset that produces cash flow as well as appreciates in value and gives you tax benefits. So if you don't want to throw away money renting and you also don't need that flexibility that renting provides, house hacking will be a great option for you. Also, if you're at a period in your life that you want to start putting roots down in a certain neighborhood or certain community, I would definitely consider house hacking over renting. Because once you buy this multifamily property, you could live there as long as you live there for at least 1 year. Once maybe you want to start looking into buying a single family house, or maybe you want to house hack again after that, you can keep that property, just rent out your unit that you just lived in and keep it as a cash flowing asset. And like I said, even if you only put that 3.5% down and your mortgage payment's $4,000 a month, as long as you're covering your expenses every single month, yeah, it may not be cash flowing right away, but over time, as you pay down that mortgage balance, as well as have the property appreciate in value over time. And the best part is the 30-year fixed rate loan where the payment stays exactly the same and the rental income goes up. This will allow you to start building wealth in real estate over the long term, and you will be very happy that you did. Now, I wanted to cover this last, but we do cover a lot of HELOC uses, home equity line of credit, how to use your HELOC in order to build wealth in real estate. Well, this is how you do it. After you buy this property using the FHA loan or Fannie Mae loan, whatever you're using, you live there for a year, you started paying down the mortgage, started paying down that balance. Maybe you added some value to the property, redid the kitchens and the bathrooms, and maybe it appreciated value, maybe not. You can then go to the lender and ask for a home equity line of credit. Now, a home equity line of credit, if you didn't already know, is a revolving credit line based on the equity that you have in your home. Now, the key though is it's especially in this market as credit has tightened, it's much, much easier to get a HELOC on an owner occupied property, which is what this would be because you live in one unit, right? As opposed to after you move out or if you buy a property that you never plan to live in, that would be an investment property and it's generally much harder to get approved and just generally much harder to even find a lender that's willing to do a HELOC on an investment property because especially in this market, it's just considered more risky. So once you live there for a while, apply for a HELOC and let's say you have $100,000 of a HELOC credit line that you could use. You could then use that HELOC for the next property, whether you want to use it as a down payment, which I don't really quite suggest most of the time. I've covered that in the past. I'll put a link in the description box as well as up here in the corner. But my favorite way to use a HELOC is on a fix and flip project. So you could use it as a down payment on a fix and flip project for sure, or you could also use it to fund the rehab costs of the fix and flip project. And then once you sell it, you'll get to pay down that HELOC and start all over again. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about the house hacking strategy. Have you used it or have you not used it? Let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. I love the comment section. I love getting back to all you guys, and I will definitely get back to as many of you as humanly possible. So if you have any questions about real estate investing as well as home equity lines of credit, would love to help in any way that I can. You could also check me out on Instagram at RealJCosta and check my website, realjcosta.com. You can submit a form there, and that's how you can contact me as well. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate you watching, and I will see you next time.